Usher syndrome is, it comes in 3 types. Type 1 usually means that you're born to family death and you have balance problems and the sight starts to deteriorate around about teenage years. Type 2, which is what I have, is where you're born moderate severely deaf, and when you reach your teens you start to lose your sight. Type 3, you're born with normal sight and hearing, but then both deteriorate. The poor eye condition that affects our sight in this combination is RP, retinitis pigmentosa. On top of this, I have a secondary condition that affects my central vision too, so my letterbox isn't as useful as it could be. So I'll start with when I wake up in the morning. I think all of us wake up and everything is a bit hazy. It does last a while. I strategise everything I do. I'd shuffle down the stairs using my feet to feel for the carpet and count the steps as I go. My hands detect the wall beside me. I trip up on my sister's shoes along the way. Things start to get a little bit clearer once I'm munching on my Cheerios. But then once I step out the house and into my taxi for school, everything blurs up again. If it's bright, which it is most mornings, I get flashing lights that bob around my box of vision that start from the edges and gradually drift to my central vision. This then makes my head feel delicate and sensitive to move about, which then often kicks off a headache, and that sticks with me the majority of the day. So once I get to school, I put my sunglasses on and stroll in. You get the typical younger ones that mess around with the corridor lights, flicking them off and on. Little do they know that kicks off the flashing lights in my central vision again. So there I am, shuffling along, overly conscious of my whereabouts. When I first started school, I often misjudged the door frames too, so I'd have a few lumps and bumps on my way to the forenoon. In a classroom at my school, there are quite a few windows, so when the sun shines through, we could get up and close the curtains. But then it's too dark, not good when you suffer from night blindness. So the lights get flickered on, and all this takes a while for my eyes to just adjust. Teacher comes in, lesson starts. Is the text on the board big enough? Have my modified sheets been prepared? Can I hear the teacher? Is the class being too noisy for me to hear? Is the teacher aware of what I'm going through? Am I sat in the right seat for me to access the lesson? So many things have to be considered these days. I have a long day at school. A normal day starts at 8:30 and finishes at 4 o'clock. So by lesson 3 and 4, I'm already exhausted, just trying to listen and concentrate through my irritating flashing bulbs. At this point, I've closed my eyes and tried to make use of my hearing. This too is rather tiring. By 4 o'clock, I stuff my feet back to the taxi, get in, go home, rush through my homework and get chilled, and I'm practically done for the day. If it has been a long day, I could easily be asleep by 8 o'clock. And for a 16-year-old, that's rather shocking. I made my video to try and show my teachers and school friends what I'm going through and how it affects my everyday life. Having text enlarged can make a huge difference. It would reduce my eye strain. Being deaf as well has its difficulties too. Because of my sight, I cannot lip read like I could before. Until now, I've had to try and use my ears more than my sight, and that is hard without doing lip reading. So every day is a challenge, but every day is a new lesson waiting to be learned. Everyone learns from their own experiences, and for myself, I do strategise everything I do. I'm currently being assessed for a guide dog. I cannot wait. Trust me, I was so anti-guide dog before, just didn't want to know it. I was worse about using my red and white cane. How many 16-year-olds do you see with canes, I used to say. I never did want to use one. I tried it and hated it, but everyone is different, I guess. If it gives you your independence and safety, then you should use it, really. I wasn't interested in having a dog for months, but everyone was so patient. After attending a family day, go walkies with the guide dog charity, I soon changed my mind. I also went along to a client day, got to learn basic commands, groom a dog and walk one. Amazing. I've decided I want one, and I want one now. If only, but my time will come. My attitude had changed so much in 4 years. Now I just want to live life like any other, do things like any other, try things like any other, experiment, enjoy and love life like everyone should. Life is too short to be worrying. I've been told I'll be a very blind young lady. Yes, it scares me, but I won't ever let it get me down for too long. My family and friends have a massive impact on me. Without them, I could never face life. They made me who I am, the one and only Molly Jane Wong.
Thank you very much to one and only Molly Jane Watts. Molly didn't mention, don't leave the stage yet, one thing Molly didn't mention, she's a great fundraiser. She's been instrumental in raising funds for Sense, which is the charity for deaf-blind people, but also now I guess your new interest is in also raising money for the Guide Dogs Association. And another thing Molly hasn't told us, she has been shortlisted by Sense for the Young Deaf-Blind Person of the Year, and this is in recognition of her. This is in recognition of her creative skills in raising awareness of Usher syndrome. So, Molly, thank you very much for coming here today and talking to us. And I'd just like you to take that little check home for one of your charities. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.